Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something really exciting, but also maybe a little daunting for some folks. Getting that first dog and, figuring out how to be their best trainer.
Yeah, it's a big step.
Definitely. And maybe you're in the same boat as listener Appages who posted on Reddit. They were asking, should I get a professional trainer or try my best at home? So it felt a bit like cheating somehow.
Yeah, the cheating idea comes up a lot. It's a really common thought process.
Right. Like training is meant to be your time with the dog, not something you, outsource. And they really want a good hiking buddy. That was their goal.
Exactly. And that feeling, that dilemma, it's really common for first-time owners. So that's really what we're diving into today. Our mission here is to kind of take all these options, professional help, doing it yourself, the science behind it all, the practical stuff, and just distill it down.
It makes sense.
Make it make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
We want you to walk away feeling, empowered and informed, not totally overwhelmed by this amazing journey you're starting.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Because that feeling of cheating, if you get help, it seems pretty real for a lot of new owners. Is there maybe something we're missing about what professional trainers actually do?
Oh, absolutely. And it's fascinating because, well, professional training, like one Reddit user, ChemFit, put it so well, it's not really about training the dog.
Oh.
Yeah, it's more about teaching you how to train your dog. Think about you're the one with the dog constantly, right?
24/7, yeah.
You're the main influence, the everyday presence. So a trainer's real job, it's equipping you, giving you the knowledge, the skills, so you can effectively guide your dog, reinforce those good behaviors every single day.
Okay, wow. That completely reframes it. It's not outsourcing the relationship, it's learning the language.
Exactly.
It makes so much more sense with that analogy from Guy on Reddit. They said, saying that using a professional trainer is cheating is like saying going to a professional hairstylist is cheating.
Ah, that's a good one.
Isn't it? You're getting the basics from someone who has been specifically trained in that craft. But it's up to you to maintain it at home. It's about getting expert help, not dodging the work.
Precisely. Couldn't have said it better. And think about it, especially if you're a first-time owner, getting that immediate, personalized feedback. It's invaluable.
Right, not just reading a book or watching a video.
Exactly. It's not just learning what to do. It's someone right there correcting how you're doing it, your timing, your body language. Little things that make a huge difference. And, hey, even pro trainers consult each other, right? Another user, Dogan Coffee Snob, pointed that out. Shows we're all always learning.
Okay, so those group classes people talk about, they're not just for sit, stay, calm, there's more to it.
Oh, much more. Group classes are fantastic. Yes, they're cost-effective for the basics, definitely. But maybe even more importantly, they provide absolutely critical socialization for your puppy or dog.
Ah, getting used to other dogs and people.
Exactly. Your dog learns to handle being around other dogs, other people, and crucially, learns to focus on you, even with all those exciting distractions going on.
Yeah.
Several Reddit users like Positive Feelings 1234, OKBear9946 really emphasize how vital that practice is. It preps your dog for the real world, like those hikes you mentioned.
And like Guillaume said, those classes are usually just, an hour or two a week?
Typically, yeah.
So that leaves tons of time for daily practice, just you and your dog, building that bond. You're definitely not outsourcing the relationship there.
Not even close. So when you look for professional help, you've got a couple main options. Group classes, great for basics, great for socialization. Then you got home visits.
That sounds more personalized.
It is.
Yeah.
Super customized feedback.
Yeah.
The trainer sees your dog in their actual environment. Right. So they can spot specific things like how does your dog act when food's left on the counter or when the kids are running around. They can offer tailored solutions you just wouldn't get in a group setting.
Makes sense.
But, and this is really, really important, there's a type of training to be very wary of. A lot of Redditors like Dogan Coffee Snob, hanging socks. Cecilda were quite clear on this. Avoid the board and train places, the send your dog away to boot camp type programs.
Why is that? They sound intensive.
They are, but often not in a good way. These places, well, they rarely use the kindest, most scientifically sound methods. And maybe the biggest issue, they don't do anything to build your relationship with the dog. That bond, that connection between you and your dog, that's the absolute foundation for everything. You can't delegate that.
Wow, okay. That's a really crucial distinction. Your bond isn't something you can outsource. So if we want this helpful coaching, this guidance, how do we find someone qualified? Because you're right, dog trainer isn't exactly a protected title.
It really isn't, which means you, the owner, need to be savvy. Look for certifications from reputable organizations. KPA, that's Karen Pryor Academy, is a big one.
Hmm.
IAABC, International Association of Animal Behavior Consultants. Or CCPDT, Certification Council for Professional Dog Trainers.
Okay, KPA, IAABC, CCPDT.
Yep. Seeing those credentials generally means the trainer is committed to humane, positive, science-backed methods. That's what folks like Curse the Wind and the Whole Dog Journal recommend looking for. It's kind of your quality assurance check.
Got it. So let's say we found our coach. We understand their role is to teach us. Now, let's get into the really cool stuff, the science. How do our dogs actually learn? Because I heard something powerful.
Yeah,
They're not being bad on purpose, right? It's all about motivating.
That's the absolute core of it. Everything our dogs do, everything, is driven by motivation. They either want something good, like a treat or play,
Okay.
or they want to avoid something unpleasant, maybe pressure or being ignored, or sometimes the behavior itself is just plain fun, like chasing a squirrel. Understanding what motivates your specific dog, that is your superpower in training.
So how do they connect their actions to getting what they want?
Well, it basically boils down to two main ways dogs learn, just through interacting with their world. First, there's classical conditioning. This is all about associations, often involuntary ones.
It's like Pavlov's dogs.
Exactly like Pavlov's dogs. They learn to associate the bell with food, so the bell itself made them salivate. The AKC gives a great example. Your dog gets super excited when the doorbell rings. Not because they love the sound, but because they've learned it predicts people arriving, which might mean attention or excitement. It just happens.
Okay, automatic associations. What's the other way?
The other big one is operant conditioning. This is where the dog learns that its own actions have consequences. If doing something leads to a good outcome, like getting a treat for sitting,
They'll probably sit more often.
you got it.
Yeah.
And if behavior leads to something unpleasant, or maybe just nothing happens, they're less likely to do it again.
Yeah.
This is where our active training really comes into play, shaping those choices.
And here's where it gets really, really practical and maybe a bit mind-blowing. The timing. I read, I think it was Nate Schumer, the trainer, said you have about 1 second.
Just about. When your dog performs a behavior, you have that tiny window, roughly 1 second, to communicate, yes, that's what I wanted. That immediate feedback is absolutely critical for them to link their action with your approval or reward.
1 second. That's fast. How do you even manage that consistently?
Well, that's where marker training is so brilliant. Instead of fumbling for a treat right at that exact instant, we use what's called a conditioned reinforcer, usually a clicker or a sharp, consistent word like yes.
So the click or the yes isn't the reward itself.
Exactly. Think of it like this. The clicker sound becomes like money for your dog. Money isn't inherently valuable, right? But we value it because we know it predicts getting things we do value.
Like treats or toys for the dog.
Precisely. The click or the yes becomes this super fast signal that tells the dog, bingo, what you just did, that earned you a reward and it's coming right now.
Okay, that makes sense. It bridges the gap.
It totally does. But for it to work, a couple of things are key. One, the marker sound, the click or your word has to be really consistent. Same sound every time. Two, it has to reliably predict the reward. The marker happens, then about half a second later, the treat appears. That predictability, straight out of Pavlov's work, is crucial.
And does it work from far away?
Yes. That's another beauty of it. Once the dog understands the marker, you can click or say yes the instant they do the right thing, even if they're across the room. Then you can get the reward to them. It allows for precision timing, even at a distance. It's an incredibly clear way to communicate.
Wow, okay. So we know how they learn associations and consequences and the importance of timing and markers. Now, what about the different ways people approach training? I hear terms like positive and negative, and honestly, it gets confusing.
It really does. The 4 quadrants of operant conditioning sound technical, but the basic idea is simpler than it seems. The key, as Nate Schumer points out, is to forget thinking positive means good and negative means bad in the everyday sense. Think of it mathematically. Positive just means you add something to the situation. Negative just means you take something away.
Add or subtract, got it.
Exactly. Then, reinforcement means you want the behavior to happen more often, to increase it. And punishment means you want the behavior to happen less often, to decrease it.
Okay, add, subtract, increase, decrease. Let's break that down.
Let's do it. So for most owners, especially starting out, we're really focusing on 2 main quadrants. First, positive reinforcement. That's adding something the dog likes, a treat, toy, praise, to increase a behavior. Dog sits, you add a cookie. Simple, super effective, and builds a great relationship.
Makes sense. Sit looky, more sitting.
Bingo. The second one we use a lot, maybe without even realizing it, is negative punishment. This is removing something the dog wants to decrease a behavior.
Example.
Okay, your dog jumps on you for attention. You calmly turn your back, removing your attention. The jumping stops because the reward your attention disappears.
Hmm.
All four paws on the floor. Okay, attention comes back.
Removing the good stuff stops the bad stuff.
Exactly. Now, just so you have the full picture, there are the other two. Negative reinforcement. This is removing something the dog finds mildly unpleasant or annoying and aversive to increase a behavior. Think gentle leash pressure.
Hmm.
The dog yields to the pressure, moves with you, and the pressure immediately stops. The removal of the pressure reinforces yielding.
Okay, stopping something annoying encourages the right action.
And finally, positive punishment. This is adding something unpleasant like a leash correction or a sharp no to decrease a behavior.
Hmm.
Dog jumps, gets a correction, jumping decreases.
Got it. So 4 ways things can connect. But when it comes to actual training philosophies, people seem to pick sides, right? Like purely positive versus something else. What's best for a newbie?
Yeah, there are definitely different camps. You have trainers who focus almost exclusively on positive reinforcement and negative punishment. They're often called positive reinforcement trainers or force-free trainers. They actively avoid using those aversive techniques, the positive punishment and negative reinforcement involving discomfort.
And does that work?
For the vast majority of training goals, absolutely. And there's a lot of research, cited by groups like the AKC and others, showing that reward-based methods are generally more effective and less harmful to the dog-owner relationship. For a first-time owner, building that crucial trust and bond, this is usually the safest, most recommended starting point.
Okay, focus on the rewards and removing rewards.
Pretty much. Now, there are other philosophies, often called balanced training. These trainers might argue that intelligently using all 4 quadrants can be necessary for certain situations, especially more complex behavior issues like serious aggression, where they feel purely positive methods might be limiting.
Yes, avoid it.
It is. But honestly, for raising a well-behaved companion, especially your first dog, you can achieve almost everything you need using overwhelmingly positive, reward-based techniques. That should absolutely be your foundation.
And regardless of philosophy, are there tools everyone agrees should be avoided?
Yes, thankfully. There's a pretty strong consensus among reputable trainers and organizations to avoid tools like electronic shock collars, prong collars, and choke chains.
Why is that?
Because groups like the Whole Dog Journal, the AKC, and many behavioral scientists point out these tools work by causing pain or fear. And that can seriously backfire. It can increase anxiety, create negative associations, and even lead to more aggression, not less. It undermines the trust you're trying to build.
So stick to positive methods and avoid the pain-based tools.
That's the strong recommendation. And Nate Schumer adds a good safety tip. If you ever do use something like a leash correction, positive punishment, always use the leash and collar, never your hands. Your hands should always predict good things for your dog. Petting, treats, play, never punishment.
That's a really good point. Hands are for love.
Exactly. And you know what's really cool? When you use these principles consistently, especially the positive ones, you help create what some trainers call an operant dog.
Operant dog, what's that?
It's not just a dog that follows commands robotically. It's a dog that understands its actions have consequences. A dog that actively tries things to see what works, what gets them rewards. They become thinkers, problem solvers. It builds incredible confidence and engagement rather than just passive obedience. They're participating in their learning.
I love that. A thinking dog, not just an obedient one. So how do we actually do it? Put this science into practice day to day.
Okay, let's get practical. Nate Schumer has a really clear breakdown, like 4 building blocks for teaching a new behavior. First, the command. That's your word, like sit.
Okay, step 1, the word.
Step 2, motivation. This is usually a physical cue to help the dog do the thing. Often it's luring with a treat.
Guiding them into position.
Yep. Step 3, the mark or reward. That's your click or yes, the instant they do it correctly.
Yeah.
That immediate feedback.
Got it. Mark the moment.
And step 4, the primary reward. If you used a marker, this is the actual treat or toy that follows the marker. So, command, motivate, mark, reward. And the key is the progression. Condition your marker first, then use the motivation lure. Then as they get the movement, you add the verbal command before the lure.
Okay, let's talk techniques. Luring.
Luring is super common. Just using a treat to guide your dog. Like Sumer says, wherever the nose goes, the butt does the opposite. So lure the nose up and slightly back over their head.
And the butt goes down for a sit.
Exactly. For a down, lure the nose down between their front paws. Another technique is that gentle leash pressure we mentioned. It's not about yanking. It's a soft cue. The dog learns that moving with the pressure, yielding to it, makes the pressure stop. That's the negative reinforcement part. The relief reinforces the yielding. But it has to be taught gently, slowly. It's a cue, not force.
Okay, luring, gentle pressure. What about those verbal commands? You mentioned a mistake
Ah,
earlier.
yes, the overshadowing mistake. This is huge. So many people say the word sit while they are luring the dog down.
Sounds efficient.
Seems like it, but it's not. Science shows that if you pair the physical cue, the lure, and the verbal cue, sit, at the exact same time, the physical cue, the visual lure, is much stronger for the dog. It overshadows the word.
So they learn the hand signal, not the word sit.
Precisely. They become dependent on the lure or hand motion. To teach the word itself, the verbal command must come first. Say sit. Then start the lure motion. Give them a chance to respond to the word alone first.
Say it, then show it. Got it. What other common pitfalls should we watch out for?
The AKZ has a great list. A big one is manage your own emotions. Never let your dog see you getting frustrated or angry during training.
Easier said than done sometimes.
Tell me about it. But if they sense you're stressed, they often just shut down. They can't learn effectively. It might look like stubbornness, but it's often anxiety. Take a break if you need to. Another mistake, being stingy with rewards.
Oh, not rewarding enough.
Yeah, especially when you're first teaching something new. Be generous. Reward frequently. Then, once the dog really knows the behavior, you can start rewarding more randomly, intermittently. That actually keeps them motivated. It's like playing a slot machine.
Keep him guessing.
Kinda.
Yeah.
And match the reward to the effort. Easy stuff might get kibble, but really good recall or stay. Break out the good stuff, cheese, chicken, whatever your dog loves. Remember, food is usually a more powerful motivator than just petting, especially early on.
Okay, so let's apply this. Say, come when called. Super important, especially for that hiking buddy. How would those steps work?
Okay, recall. First, get their attention, maybe say their name, then clear, happy voice. Come, that's the command. Immediately you add motivation. Maybe crouch down a bit, look inviting, even take a few steps backward, clapping lightly. Make it look fun.
Make yourself exciting.
Totally. The instant they start moving towards you, even one step, mark it, click, or a cheerful yes. And as they reach you, give that primary reward a really yummy treat, maybe several small ones, delivered right by your legs. Make arriving at you the best thing ever.
And what not to do.
Don't repeat the command over and over. Come, come, Fido, come. That just teaches them the cue is actually come, 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 and they don't need to respond right away. Say it once clearly. Also, don't punish them if they take a while or get distracted. That just makes them less likely to come next time. Keep it positive.
Makes sense. What about dogs not listening in different places? Like, they sit perfectly at home but ignore you at the park?
Ah, yes. Poor generalization. That's another classic mistake.
Yeah.
Dogs are terrible at generalizing. A sit in the quiet kitchen is totally different to them than a sit with squirrels running around and other dogs barking.
So you have to teach it everywhere.
Pretty much. You need to practice in many different environments and systematically vary the 3Ds. Distance, start close, gradually ask from further away. Duration, how long they hold a sit or stay. And distraction, start with none, slowly add mild ones, then harder ones. You build up complexity gradually.
And practice often.
Yes. Consistency is key. Short, frequent sessions, like 5 or 10 minutes, maybe a couple of times a day, are way better than one long, boring session once a week. Integrate training into your daily routine. Practice sit before meals, down during TV time, recall in the yard.
Okay, what about loose leash walking? That's the holy grail for hikers.
Right. Nate Schumer has a nice progression for that, too. He suggests starting maybe with a harness, letting the dog drag the leash a bit just to get used to it, exploring without much pressure. Then you start teaching that gentle leash pressure cue we talked about.
The negative reinforcement one.
Yep. A slight pressure means move this way. When they yield, pressure instantly stops. They learn that walking with you, keeping slack in the leash, is comfortable. Resisting causes pressure. Eventually, once they understand the concept of yielding to pressure, you might transition to a flat collar if you want. The goal is a dog choosing to walk nicely because it's rewarding, not because they're being forced.
That sounds much nicer than constant pulling.
It is. For both of you.
Now, one more thing on techniques. What if a dog is already showing, like, real aggression towards people or other dogs? Does this training still apply?
That's a really critical question. If you are seeing any signs of genuine aggression, growling, snapping, biting, please get professional help immediately. This is not a DIY situation.
Who do you call?
Start with your veterinarian. They can rule out any underlying medical causes and then refer you to a specialist, usually a board-certified veterinary behaviorist. BACVB, or a Certified Applied Animal Behaviorist, CAB. They have advanced training, specifically in aggression.
And what do they typically do? Is it still positive training?
Yes, overwhelmingly. The approach, as the whole dog journal stresses, involves careful management to prevent incidents, combined with desensitization and counterconditioning. Basically, very gradually exposing the dog to their triggers at a level they can handle, while pairing those triggers with really good things like amazing treats to change their emotional response from fear or anger to anticipation.
So changing the feeling, not just suppressing the behavior.
Exactly. And crucially, avoiding punishment. Using harsh methods or tools on an aggressive dog is incredibly risky and often makes the aggression much, much worse. It increases their fear and anxiety. So professional guidance using positive methods is absolutely essential.
Okay, that's vital safety information. Listening to all this, it really drives home that training isn't just about getting your dog to follow rules. It feels like it's much deeper than that.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's
Yeah.
fundamentally about building a relationship, a partnership based on clear communication and mutual understanding. It's about what you learn together.
How does that relationship change as the dog grows up?
That's a great point. The AKC talks about this beautifully. In the puppy stage, training is like establishing yourself as the follow the leader. You teach them that all good things, food, fun, safety come through you. You become incredibly valuable, their trusted guide.
Building that foundation.
Exactly. Then comes adolescence, the teenage phase. Here, training is all about consistency. They're going to test boundaries, push limits, just like human teens. Sticking firmly but fairly to the rules reinforces your leadership and teaches them reliable structure.
Surviving the teenage dog years.
Pretty much. And then, in the adult stage, training becomes about expanding and strengthening your bond. You're not just maintaining basics. You might teach fun tricks, advanced obedience, maybe even try a dog sport like agility or nose work. It keeps their minds sharp, gives them physical outlets, and really deepens that connection you've built.
So it's good for the dog's brain and body, too.
Absolutely vital. Training provides essential mental stimulation, prevents boredom, and offers physical exercise. It keeps them happy and healthy, but honestly, the benefits for us owners are just as profound.
How so?
Think about it. Working with your dog, learning to communicate across species, teaches us so much. The AKC lists things like friendship, love, loyalty, gratitude, patience, and humility. And it's true. You learn patience when they don't get it right away. You feel immense gratitude for their unconditional love. You build this incredible loyalty. It's a really powerful connection.
It really is. So it's not just about training a dog, it's about becoming a better partner to them.
You've nailed it. You're learning their language, they're learning yours, and you're building something amazing together.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, it seems pretty clear that becoming your dog's best trainer isn't about doing it all alone or feeling like getting help is cheating.
Not at all.
It's really about understanding that training is a partnership. It's about using the science of how they learn, communicating clearly, maybe getting some expert coaching to help you communicate better, and building this incredible, confident bond.
Exactly. The owner that's you is always the primary trainer. You're the one living with the dog. Professional help is there to guide you, to empower you to be the most effective, kind, and understanding leader and companion you could be.
So for everyone listening, maybe, especially if you're thinking about that first dog, what does this all mean for you and that future furry friend? You're not just teaching commands, you're really embarking on this incredible journey of understanding each other, of growing together. So maybe the question isn't just what you'll teach your dog, but what new skill will you two discover together? And what will chasing that shared goal teach you about patience, about communication, and maybe just about the pure joy of achieving something as a team?